Push Rod Fury. Alright, sloppy hair, Fury here, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just getting work done. Alright, listen up. You can't, this whole, if you don't know the bull garbage that previous owners leave you with. Man, look at this. Look at that. It's like milky crap. I spilled it everywhere, so I got a lot of cleaning to do. What a mess. And look at the debris in there. That's just like an emulsion. So water must have got in there and messed it all up. Anyway, today is clutch day because the clutch plates are stuck. And I didn't, like a dummy, I didn't like put it in second gear and pull in the clutch and see if I could push the bike. I just tried to drive it, and bike said, no, we're not doing that. It stalled out immediately. So I think that what happens here is I take those nuts off. So let's see. Now there's, actually I haven't seen this on YouTube yet, is how to get to this point. And of course I didn't film it, but I had to take my exhaust off because the Farkle nuts, these stupid things, dress up kit, yeah, those bolts get in the way. So I guess I could set the camera up and film this, so I'll go ahead and do that. I really don't want to drop any hardware in the oil. Oops. Ooh, that's a big spring. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Wasn't quite ready for that one. Yeah. Okay, this is how you break stuff, I guess. Oh Jesus, look at that. I gotta figure out how to do this. Put this back together. So you pop this guy out. Put him back here. Start installing this shit backwards and sideways. Have all kinds of problems. Well, look at that. Yeah, little tidbits in there. That doesn't seem right. I'm just gonna guess that little pieces of your clutch in there mean you gotta replace it. I thought I was gonna have to unstick it. I thought it was just gonna show up stuck. Yeah, look at that, see? That. Completely seized. That's why my clutch wouldn't disengage. And look at this. Oops, 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 oops. Oops, see, now I got a problem. Now I got dirt in my stuff. I gotta clean that one. So the rest of them, I'll go in here. Is this right? Did they build this wrong? Oh look, the friction plates are stuck here too. What a mess. Oh yeah, this clutch is fucked. That would never break loose, huh? Can you see this? It's so stuck together. Wow. Well, that's why you gotta take care of your stuff, I guess. Look at that. That clutch is never gonna break loose. It'd be there all week. Oh, more than all week, we'd never do it. We'd never break loose.
Well, honestly, I don't think I'm all of it.
So anyway, that's the problem. There'd be a fool to put this back together with the old friction plates. I thought they would just need to be cleaned, but there's little chunks of them, like, floating around in there. So I'm gonna clean all this out. And then I'll reassemble it. Still a weekend, a few hours left in the weekend at least. Gotta clean up that mess, right? That horrible mess. But from the inside of the primary cover, all that nasty oil that apparently got some moisture in it. Also, awesome vendor. There they are. Good old motorcycle parts company right in Hoboken. He's got everything I needed for this project. He's had it in stock. Sometimes cheapest price, sometimes not. But you know what? He's getting my business because he's right here local. I can pick this stuff up, right? We can ship it wherever. But to have this stuff in stock, that costs money. And so I really appreciate the guy takes the business seriously, supports us folks who are trying to get old bikes back on the road again or just keep old bikes running. So shout out to Bob at good old motorcycle parts company. And then I just want to show you, boy, what a mess. So there's my cover. And I've been brushing it out with kerosene to clean it. You don't want to use any other solvent. I think kerosene's the way to go. And just cleaning that out, and then cleaning all the filth. Oops. Off of here. Oops, I dropped the connector. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Anyway, that's what I'm working on now. I'll be back. Just gonna take kerosene and I used a fresh paintbrush so I don't get any debris in here. But I'm just gonna go over these surfaces because see that kind of milky white residue from the contaminated oil? I don't want that sticking around. So just gonna give this a little rinse down and yeah. Usually, I might be wrong, I don't think I am, if you can put oil in it, you can clean it with kerosene and you won't hurt it. That's kind of like the rule of thumb. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me. But this has held true for me, so far so good. Anyway, so I'm just going to go at these surfaces in here like this. And again, this is how I'm doing it. This is not a how-to or anything like that. It's just this is how I'm doing it. So let's see, getting in there. Let me show you. I always start with okay. The clutch plates, these guys, had some marks on them, and so I went over them with 4/0 steel wool, and there's no gouges. They don't have any texture to them, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I rinsed them with kerosene, and so now I'm just wiping them dry, and I'm going to put oil on them. So I'll do that. But I mean, I just went over it with the steel wool, a little bit of oil to clean them, so you can see that. They're fine. I don't see any reason to replace them. That's pretty good. And let that oil soak in. Okay. So I'm just going to stack them here while so I'm just going to use my fingers. Probably should be wearing gloves for this, but okay. And I can't imagine doing this on the side stand. Have it up on a jack. All right, there's that guy. Boop. Yeah, you got to do it like this. So I'm just gonna hold all these pieces. Gosh, if I drop this in the cat litter that I've got on the floor, I'll be in big trouble. How am I gonna do this? Like that, I guess. One. And repeat. I'm not going to torture you all. If you notice that, if you haven't seen how clutch works, these are the drive plates. They drive the transmission, and their teeth are on the inside. And the clutch, the plates that slip, the friction plates, they engage the outside. And that's how it goes. So this is going to take some work. Oh boy. Okay, well. I wonder if I should have put the sleeves on after the fact. Oh, there we go. Okay. And you see how this engages the outer part of the clutch assembly. It's a simple but clever. There's one of my hairs. No, that's from the paintbrush. Oop, get rid of him. And rinse and repeat. And again, this is the one that's different from the stock. This one's got a friction plate surface that faces in, and the stock one was just metal. So that is the new clutch. And then you retain it with this groovy spring. It's giant, it's the world's largest spring clip. Just wiping that off. Oil it up a little bit. And this should really just pop in here really elegantly. Let's hope so. So it goes in like that. Yep. Look at that. Now these sleeves could still slide out and fall, but that's amazing. Look at that. And look. See how it spins freely? Before it wouldn't do that because it was all locked together. So that, it's really kind of slick to see how the mechanism works. You can picture it in your head. I honestly have never done a motorcycle clutch before. This is my 17th motorcycle. Yeah, my 17th motorcycle. Never done a clutch. So now I'm not too afraid of it. All right, I'm gonna get the springs in there next. So let me wipe those off. Okay. So these springs sit in there like that, and then followed by this plate. And you got to put the nuts in. And there are the nuts. So what are the chances that all this will just happily go together without being a pain in the rump? And I'm gonna say slim to none. How did I do this? I feel like I'm gonna push the motor. There's no way. You'll see there's a special tool that basically spans from here to here. Basically, you could make it yourself with a few bolts and a piece of like stock. And essentially you need to push this plate in to compress the two springs behind it. What I did, I'll just explain it. Horrible idea. I put a cargo strap around it and started to ratchet it. And I got a couple of these bolts to come through the plate. And so I put fasteners on it and then got this one and that one. By the time I got 4 of the fasteners on, it started to go in just fine, but it just didn't look right. It looked goofy, but it went on, it didn't damage anything. So to learn from me, get the right tools and don't be in a hurry. But anyway, got it in there. Super stoked about that. I also put on a clutch cable. That was a little interesting, but I got a new Motion Pro clutch cable. And if we go up to the top here, I don't know if you saw the fringe bullshit, and then I had like gauze, like surgical gauze wrapped on it. So I cleaned all that up and then lubricated the pivot points and got that all installed. So that should be good. And then I'm just waiting for my gasket to show up for the primary cover, and that should be it. So getting closer. Once I have that on, I should be able to ride this thing down the street. Okie dokie. Can't see anything I'm doing, can you? Other than I'm making a giant mess. You see this? Maybe you can see that now. You see that? So I got a new clutch cable routed in there, and I loosened up the tensioner for the chain, for the primary chain. So I did that. The other thing is, let me turn this. Jeez. I scraped the old gasket and put a new one in. I didn't record that, just a bunch of buffoonery. And I lubricated the bearings and the pass.
Hey, bud, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Quick on motorcycles.
Yeah.
My mom got one around the corner.
Yeah.
It don't work. We don't know what's wrong with it. It's a nice, clean Harley Davidson, I think. It's fresh. It was her husband, but he died recently.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad took the one that worked, left the one that didn't work. And I want to know what could you do with that? Would you?
Take care. Alrighty. Right. So as we learn all kinds of interesting stuff. So now we got to figure out how to get this cover back out. There we go. I got a seal there. Did that come in my kit? Sure did. So you see that? I didn't replace it, so I gotta fix that. I gotta replace it. Go. So anyway, clean that out. Put a little grease in there. This little seal. This. So let's see. There we go. Just gonna tap that in there. That sounds like it's installed. And now we just gotta get a boatload of fasteners in there. How embarrassing, this mess I have. I mean, I should really clean up. All right. Jeez Louise. What a disaster. All right, next, look, I'm gonna put these fasteners in. Whoa.